listen to this, and then we'll see the volume in the room. Okay, try to not apply this to Lane Myers or Craig Hendry or attempted Lawrence accountability. Kansas, Arizona, and Indiana, all the same exact story. It's not a local thing. And this isn't the first. There's actually a guy in Washington named Sasson Van Ellislew. He has been incarcerated on an injunction for harassment, where the underlying case was dismissed, and he has been sitting in there for over a year. This is really going to blow your mind. He's done the same thing Lane did. He has everything recorded beginning to right now, to literally a phone call yesterday. For those of y'all who don't believe me, here's his channel. He has 69 subscribers and 99 videos. That's probably why you haven't heard about it. Anyways, moving on. Like I was saying, try not to apply Lane Myers to what you're about to hear.
Attorney General Garland, on October 4th, you issued an unprecedented memo that involves the Department of Justice and the FBI and local school districts, local school boards, nothing like it in our country's history. It was based, you've testified, on this letter from the National School Board Association that we now know the White House was involved in writing. They've retracted the letter. They've apologized for the letter. They say they regret the letter, but you won't retract the memo, and said earlier that you have no regrets. And you've defended yourself repeatedly today before this committee by saying, well, you're focused on violence. But now, of course, we've seen the memo from your own Justice Department advising state and local and other prosecutors about all of the different federal causes of action that they can bring against parents that are not about violence, they're about harassment and intimidation. I'm looking here at this memo. It identifies no fewer than 13 possible federal crimes involving harassment and intimidation, including making annoying phone calls. Do you think a parent who makes a phone call to a school board member that she has elected, that school board member deems annoying, should be prosecuted, General Garland?
No, I don't. And the Supreme Court has made quite clear that the word intimidation with respect to the constitutional protection is one that directs a threat to a person with the intent of placing the victim in fear of bodily harm or death. Prosecutors who investigate these cases know the Supreme Court's. This is a very famous leading case.
Prosecutors do, but parents don't, General Garland. Do you think that a parent who looks at the 13 different federal crimes that your Justice Department has identified they might be subject to and prosecuted for, like making annoying phone calls, do you think that they're going to feel that they're welcome to speak up at a school board meeting? How about this one? They could be prosecuted for using the internet, I guess that would be Facebook, in a way that might cause emotional distress to a victim. Is that a crime of violence?
Senator, I haven't seen the memo that you're
Why
talking
haven't
about,
you?
and I don't. Even from the description, it doesn't sound like it was addressed to parents. But if you
No, it wasn't addressed to parents. It was addressed to prosecutors. That's the problem. Why haven't you seen the memo?
I don't know why I haven't. I don't look at every. I do not get every memo that every U.S. attorney sends out. But if you're
wait a minute. I just want to be sure I understand this. This is a memorandum that collects 13 different federal crimes parents could be charged with. It has United States Department of Justice on the top of it, and you're telling me you haven't seen it?
Who's the memo from, Senator?
The United States Department of Justice, United States Attorney for the District of Montana.
I have not seen a memo from the District of Montana.
Not high enough priority for you?
It's not. That's not the question. I don't.
It is the question. Answer my question. Is it not a high enough priority for you when you're threatening parents with 13 different federal crimes? These aren't crimes of violence. You've testified today you're focused on violence. That's not what your U.S. attorneys, they work for you. That's not what they're saying. You haven't seen it because it's not a high enough priority, or what?
Question of priority. No one has sent me that memo, so I haven't seen it.
What do you mean no one has sent you the memo? You run the United States Department of Justice, do you not?
There are 115,000 employees of the Department of Justice.
Indeed, and you are in charge of every one of them. And this was a sufficiently important case that you issued a memo. You, over your signature, issued a memo involving the FBI and the Department of Justice in local school boards, local school districts. Your U.S. attorneys are now threatening prosecution with 13 different crimes, but it's not a high enough priority for you. It got lost in the mix.
I'll send again. I've never seen that memo.
That's what concerns me, General Garland.
Well, it wasn't sent to me. I hope you will assure your constituents that what we are concerned about here is violence and threats of violence.
That only leads me to conclude, General Garland, all I can conclude from this is either that you're not in control of your own department, or that, more likely, what I think to be the case, is that you knew full well that this is exactly the kind of thing that would happen. When you issued your memo, when you involved the Department of Justice and all of its resources, and the FBI and all of its resources in local school boards and local school districts, you knew that federal prosecutors would start collecting crimes that they could use against parents. You knew they would advise state and local officials. You knew they would advise state and local officials. You knew they would advise state and local officials that these are all of the ways parents might be prosecuted. You knew that that was the likely outcome, and that's exactly what's happened.
Yes, but what he didn't know was the extent that they would go to try to reach that threshold.
Welcome in, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? Woke up this morning and saw this video, and if it doesn't speak to what's going on here, I don't one would have to have their eyes closed to not acknowledge that that's what's occurring in this case. Anticipating a call from Lane, so we'll see if that ends up happening. I'll lose the camera whenever that happens, but I guess until then we've got a camera. All right, so we've got the bond hearing at 2:30. We will be in the courtroom, or we will have courtroom access. As far as I know, we will have 2 other people in the courtroom also. So hopefully, hopefully we don't miss any of this hearing. Alright, well, sorry about that. So I don't have too much to say. Let me see if I can log into that. Maybe we can make some phone calls while we're waiting for Lane. No. Sorry about that. I was talking for a while. Tulsa Willie. It's just a video, bro. What he said was worth listening to. And if we're gonna listen to it again, actually. And if you don't, bro, no. And if you think, oh well, what he's saying is irrelevant because he's got an R next to his name, or what he's saying is irrelevant because he's got a D next to his name, everything shouldn't be viewed through the prism of politics, right? We should look at what's actually occurring, what's actually being said, because all of these people are enemies of the people. Whether they have a R next to their name, whether they got a D next to their name, they're working to not sure what the right word is here, but they're not here to help us.
Apparently, we're not being loud enough. Well, listen to this, and then we'll see the volume in the room. Okay. Try to listen to. Try to not apply this to Lane Myers or Craig Hendry or attempted Lawrence accountability. Kansas, Arizona, and Indiana, all the same exact story. It's not a local thing. And this isn't the first. There's actually a guy in Washington named Sasson Van Ellislew. He has been incarcerated on an injunction for harassment, where the underlying case was dismissed.
Open source,
and he has been sitting in there for over a year. This is really going to blow your mind. He's done the same thing Lane did. He has everything recorded beginning to right now, to literally a phone call yesterday. For those of y'all who don't believe me, here's his channel. He has 69 subscribers and 99 videos. That's probably why you haven't heard about it. Anyways, moving on. Like I was saying, try not to apply Lane Myers to what you're about to hear.
Attorney General Garland, on October 4th, you issued an unprecedented memo that involves the Department of Justice.
Call from
Lane's in jail.
an inmate at the Pima County Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. Your current balance is $16.05. This call is subject to being recorded or monitored, except for communication between attorney and client. If you are an attorney or designated counsel, hang up and call the Pima County Jail at 520-351-8027. Three-way calls or call waiting is not allowed and may automatically disconnect the call. Did you know the person calling you now has voicemail? You can leave a message for this party by calling 520-448-3426. You will need to know the inmate's 9-digit phone ID. Thank you for using GTL.
You're live, bro.
Oh yeah. Live from the Russian Gulag.
Live from the Gulag.
Political prisoner. POW. Prisoner of the War on Freedom of Speech. Hey, however you added money to that app to get me to be able to text you, add it again.
Okay.
Because I only have $1 left, so I'll keep text messages.
Okay, I'll see if I can do that while
Set
we're.
that up or what?
I set it up.
You do it right now.
I set it up for. I thought it all went to you. I didn't. I don't know how any of this works, man. I just put money in there, and if I got to put more in, that's
When I
fine.
first looked down there and saw that you set the app up, it had $26.
Okay. Yeah, like the interface on the app says there's $71 in it. So there must be like 2 pools of money or something.
Well, there's I have 3 separate accounts. Let me write this down. I have the texting app account, I have the phone account, and I have my normal I'm in jail account for like commissary.
All right.
The money I'm talking about is for the GTO Getting Out app. And the money for the phone is whatever you've done that would be able to let me call you right now.
Okay. I'll add more.
So they're separate, you know what I mean, somehow. Because talking to you on the phone didn't lower my balance, only texting did.
Huh. All right. Well, whatever. I'll figure it out.
That's what I'm saying. So I only have a couple more messages left before I won't be able to. And everybody that's messaging me can add money somehow too. There or something. I don't know. I'm not up there. I don't know how to figure it out. I know it's a shitty app. I know it sucks. Whatever. I've never used it because I've never been in here and needed it. So I don't commit crime, so I don't go to jail.
Yeah, innocent people should never have to worry about adding money to speak to other free people.
Yeah, I know. Hey, did anybody notice I just had court in New Mexico this morning?
Has the hearing occurred?
Dude, they fucking, all of a sudden they're like, Myers, you're going to court. I'm like, going to court? It's not till 2:30. They're like, you're going to court in New Mexico. I just had court with Kathy and Ken on the phone.
So can you tell us what happened there?
Oh, they continued it to like next week or a week. And I want people to thank Kent Walquish because I could have went into warrant status and that would have really fucked me up. But Kent Walquish arranged me appearing from jail. Because obviously they can't have trial without me there, right? So he can't convict me without me there. But I have to be in there. But you can't have trial by phone.
To their dismay.
Hey, and there's a way to do video calls on this thing too. I could be talking to you on video visit too. That's what I'm saying. Figure out this shit and the money and thing. And there's a way for I can call in video. I could be sitting here smiling.
All right. Well, we'll figure that part out too.
Yeah. So I saw that thing from Profit. So they brought in the ringer, huh? Remember I told you they brought in the ringer.
Yeah, they bring in a person that is a prosecutor 2 weeks ago and a judge today.
Who worked for Laura Conover?
Yeah, who works for Laura Conover. Let me see if I can bring that up for the chat. Just unreal.
So, yeah, I'm definitely not getting out today. So I guess they don't want. I guess they're okay with the videos being up while because it doesn't make sense to me if they want. If they let me out, I can go home and take the videos down. But if I'm in here, I can't.
Well, it seems like they've been making these they've been making privacy strikes against, it seems like, everybody's videos except for yours.
Why, you've been getting them?
Oh yeah, I've been getting them. Everybody's been getting them.
Did the videos stay up?
Some of them stayed up, some of them came down. But they've all gone back up. I mean, nobody's going to win that game against me.
Right. So you're saying the videos... Okay. So anyways, move on. And so... Right. So... I don't know. But I know that this whole thing about the videos, I'm in here, the videos are up. I don't know. It seems counterintuitive to say that I'm being punished for videos that I could take down if I wasn't in here.
Yeah, it sounds like they don't really want them down.
Right. I guess. I don't know what they want, except me in jail.
Yeah, other than, hey, plead to this felony so we can put the W in the win column.
Yeah. That's not going to happen. Not right now. Why would I plead guilty to a crime that didn't happen? But, hey, so the people who need to contact... I think Charlie Kirk... You said you contact... So Charlie Kirk's in Arizona. He hates all these people in Tucson. He knows the whole... Charlie Kirk knows the whole story about Laura Conover and them down here. because of immigration, right? Like Laura Conover is like Trump's main enemy right now because of immigration. Because she's openly saying that we're not going to enforce Trump's immigration policies in Pima County. So all we got to do is get, and then if you, this is the I believe the people that would want to listen to what happened. The people in the Arizona fake election SLAPP case, Rudy Giuliani's lawyers, all the if the people look at, if you write this down, so the Arizona SLAPP fake election case, all the people involved in that need to know what's happening to me because they have power. Charlie Kirk is the one people should be really, because if ABC 15 don't want to talk about it, Charlie Kirk would. Charlie Kirk, you get what I'm saying? The red hat, the whole thing. Charlie Kirk is in Arizona, he's in Phoenix, and he knows the Looney Tunes that go down here. So if people really like make a push to him, it might catch their eye. You get what I mean? Down at Charlie Kirk, his little turn show or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
You got to go to alternative. If ABC 15, we'll just have to go to the Trump News Network. You know what I mean?
Understood.
Like Trump needs to know what's happening. The dude got arrested for wearing a red Make America Great Again and booing downhill ever since, right? I mean, I think they actually think I voted against them or something. Oh, another name I want you to write down: Mike Jett, Mike Jette. He was the person who ran against Laura Conover in the last election.
Right.
But yeah, so you said you guys were reaching out to the Attorney General?
Yeah, reaching out to the attorney. Yeah, several emails already to the Attorney General. Something coming back.
Anything back?
Somebody's heard something back. I didn't get that email. I saw that comment somewhere else.
Yeah, they might just get an email back saying we can't help you, and then say that they emailed back too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we'll keep calling. You know what I mean?
The Attorney General needs to know about this. Even though the Attorney General and Laura Conover are best friends.
Well,
if this was in any other county except Pima County, Arizona, if this was in any county in Arizona other than Pima County, this shit would be dismissed. So you know what I'm going to actually do? I'm going to file to get this shit moved to a different county because I think I can have a fair trial here.
I don't know how you could get a fair trial there.
In a place where there's charges on me.
And putting charges on you while you're sitting in jail.
Imagine being charged with a crime and not being allowed to talk about it.
Imagine being charged with a crime for talking about it.
That's what I mean. You're charged with a crime and you can't talk about it. And if you talk about it, it's another what?
Yeah, some dystopian hellscape.
But I'm in jail right now. And my dogs are at home, wondering why my wife is dealing with all of my stupidity. People showing up at the house because I'm a dumbass. You know what I mean? And
I got another one. I got another one for you. You remember Rebecca Massey, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, she one of the shareholders reached out to her, and she expressed an interest in help. And I've got a phone call with her a little later today.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, whatever, man. I mean, whatever can get some help. Do you care who the help comes from?
No. I'm saying, you're being serious? Like the woman that was like kicking it.
Yeah, bro.
Beat me for Freedom Fighter of the Year?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Dirk reached out to her. Dirk arranged all this.
Thank you, Dirk. Dirk's a lawyer.
Well, Dirk's the daring.
Dirk actually went to the same law school as Rachel Stiles. And a weird coincidence. But yeah, Rebecca Massey, you understand, it's like is she in jail for her videos about her case?
No, she's not.
And what's crazy is the organization that's what I'm saying. The ACLU, all these people need to know, but they can't really do nothing. They do civil. But it's like, how am I in jail? I don't even understand. But basically, the judge can say, what these people are trying to say is that, all right, if you're friends with if you're related to the prosecutor, if you're in a relationship with the prosecutor, if you're connected with the law school, if you're buddies with the prosecutor's office, if they're all into the same law school, you can go to court, lie under oath, and that's okay. You can lie under oath. You can get an unlawful injunction. I mean, for all the way they have it, the way they have power, they could have went in there and said that I'm not allowed to wear underwear, right? They could have got the judge, because obviously the judge would do. We saw Judge Walton do whatever, you know what I mean? We saw Judge Walton break the law in order to even get me the injunction in the first place. So imagine if she would have said, well, Mr. Myers' order is ordered to not wear underwear. If he wears underwear, he has to go to jail. And then, I mean, if he wears underwear, it's a violation of this injunction. And then if you wear underwear, which is not a crime, you get felonies because you violated the injunction. So basically, depending on who you know and how well connected you are, you can go in there and you can get a judge to do anything they want to somebody, and then you can put felonies on them. And that's what I'm saying is like at some point the ridiculousness has to stop, right?
Well, even that, man. Even if that day that your buddy doesn't do what you want, you can go back the next day and do a little shopping and find one that will. This is the antithesis of justice.
Somehow I'm in jail with no bond for exposing a state actor for lying under oath.
33 times.
33 times?
33 times in the initial hearing.
I thought that would be a story the news would want to cover.
You would think that it would be something that would be coast to coast.
Imagine if one of us lied 33 times under oath.
It wouldn't be good.
To me, the plea bargain should be, somebody gets charged with perjury. And the plea bargain is somebody gets charged with perjury, and I take the videos down.
That almost seems fair.
Why would I have to take down videos of a state actor committing a crime? That's 100% in the public's interest. If a public employee is lying under oath, how is that not newsworthy?
There's nothing more newsworthy. I mean, that's the reason for the protections of the press is to expose stuff like that. It's not to cover the Kardashians,
Without being retaliated against, right? Otherwise, how could they ever write a story? And why hasn't every reporter who has ever covered corruption been taken to jail? Why is it just me?
And only that story.
Right. All the other stories where I've exposed public corruption on my news channel registered in the state of Arizona. But for some reason, these stories specifically exposing this corruption.
Tammy, yes, ABC can use the videos you submit.
What?
Somebody was asking if ABC can use the videos they submit, and I gave them permission on your behalf.
Of course. How can I be in jail because I exposed perjury? Hey, write this name down, all right?
Go ahead.
April, right? Sponsel, Sponsel, okay? That's the Phoenix prosecutor who got suspended for 2 years for putting felonies on people for First Amendment protests, okay? To me, Rachel Stiles should be face the same consequences as April Sponsel. Now remember, Laura Conover has already been suspended by the Arizona Bar Association while she was the county attorney. So she obviously doesn't care about ethics or the law, because she'll break the law as the attorney. As you can see what they're doing to me, they're willing to break the law against me. I haven't broken the law, they are. A journalist cannot be put in jail for doing a news story about a state actor committing perjury in a court of law. That's the very definition of the purpose of the news, is to expose the affairs of government. And that's why I think they're just trying to hurry up and get a plea bargain before the judge rules on the SLAPP. Because here's the thing, the SLAPP motion is going to say, the judge's determination on the SLAPP motion is going to set this a long way, right? Because if the judge says there's enough here to seem like you're retaliating against First Amendment, well then that's clear that the law is on my side. How can you read the SLAPP motion and not see the law is on my side?
I don't think you can, man. It's so obvious.
And that's only, and I could have made that thing 75 pages if I wanted and exposed everything from them brewing for them arresting me on the sidewalk in front of the Pima County Attorney's Office for saying mind your own fucking business. You know what I mean? I could have added all that in there, but the burden of proof is very low. It's prima facie. So I don't need to prove. It wasn't like I needed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they're retaliating against me. All I needed to do is show a little tiny sliver that they're retaliating against me.
Well, you've certainly done that. You've met that bar.
The lowest bar in the legal. Do you think I met the lowest bar in the legal system?
I think you did.
What I'm trying to say is for the judge to rule on the SLAPP, I have to meet prima facie. They're speaking Mexican and translating. I gotta go. Alright, I'm good. And my roommate's fluent is a Spanish speaking. So alright, I'm back. Alright, so to me, right, what was I saying?
We're talking about the low bar of prima facie.
Yeah, prima facie. Right. Okay, so what I mean is for me to get my SLAPP motion granted, it's a very low standard. Now, for them to hold me in jail without bond, it's almost they have to prove, like when we go to court today, Rachel's going to argue that she can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I committed these crimes, okay?
That's a tough one since two of the people on the grand jury didn't even agree.
Well, these are new ones.
Even softer ones.
You get what I'm saying? Like the first one's the 14th that I got arraigned for and released that day. Those are the ones for the SLAPP motion. The hearing today is she's going to have to argue that she has proof beyond a reasonable doubt or some standard beyond whatever, proof evident or something. Basically, she's going to go in there and argue today that the silent video is really bad and I should be held in jail with no bond because the silent video is really bad. He's going to be convicted for the silent video. So therefore, we've already met the proof that he's going to be convicted for the silent video. Therefore, you can hold him in jail for the silent video with no bond. Somehow they think they're going to convince a jury of 12 people that a video that is silent is directing something at someone.
Is anybody...
In that video did I say,
I mean, is anybody ever going to ask at any point why she can't simply not watch?
Yep, that's going to be one of the first questions under oath on the stand.
I mean, you're being stalked. You're being harassed. You've been kidnapped.
Last I checked, if you don't like what's on CNN, you can always turn it to Fox News.
That's right.
I just don't understand who's forcing these alleged victims and witnesses to watch these videos. And I believe the witness at the grand jury was that David Hill, domestic terrorist guy.
Huh.
We'll find all that out in time, but I believe that it was because the way they testified was that the victim contacted them, and we know who contacted them, and I know who called the court and got my wife fired, so I don't know why they're trying to still lie about that. Laura Conover told me on Facebook she had nothing to do with it. Well, she's going to have to testify under oath that either she's lying or the federal agents are lying. Laura Conover, who says, don't follow the law. Laura Conover has a memorandum on her website at the Pima County Attorney that says right now, unless the federal agents have a warrant, tell them to leave. Laura Conover doesn't respect federal law. And so what I'm saying is that Laura Conover said she had nothing to do with my wife getting fired, but I believe that federal agents are going to say. There's like a fire drill or something. But to me, right, I don't understand because has the Fed showed up at your house, bro?
Not yet, no.
So you're not committing federal crimes?
Not to my knowledge. We did just find out that that is part of the plan, that the feds are giving these prosecutors lists of possible federal crimes, but it looks like Pima County is exploring that on a more local level.
What are you saying? Say that again.
We were just listening to Jason Hawley talk to Garland about targeted prosecutions for First Amendment protected activity.
And they're saying they want to stop that, right?
Yeah, they want to stop that. Yep.
So what you're saying is that the new guy that's in there is saying that the old guy was doing that.
Well, the Hawley was talking to the old guy, saying, "Listen, why are you doing this? Why are you colluding with state and local actors to give these people ideas on how to suppress First Amendment protected liberties?"
And I can tell you right now, that's not happening in Pima County. The feds and Laura Conover have no relationship. In fact, they hate each other and they want to arrest each other.
But they do share the common goal of sharing the desire to suppress constitutional rights.
Who?
Laura Conover and corrupt government actors.
The Tucson FBI does not want to suppress my speech. The Tucson FBI does not want me arrested. The Tucson FBI has the videos with the perjury. They know. They know. The Tucson FBI has everything since the beginning. I haven't been charged. Like, I'm telling you right now. I personally have never, listen, I've never committed, like, I'm telling you right now, nobody talks to the FBI about what I do with my videos more than me.
I believe that.
And what I'm saying is I've called the FBI during a live stream in front of Michelle Behan's unit, and they fucking asked me for the license plate number so they could get the Tucson cops to leave me alone. Do you get what I'm saying? The FBI is not watching Lane Myers unless it's to see what they're doing to me, not what I'm doing. And that's why I'm saying it's a very unique situation in Tucson, Arizona. The feds hate Laura Conover because she doesn't follow immigration laws. This is ground zero for immigration war, okay? And so what I'm saying is we can play on that because Laura Conover is already hated by the feds. The feds in Tucson are looking for any reason they can to go after Laura Conover. They're not looking to team up with her to go after Lane Myers. They're looking to team up with Lane Myers to go after Laura Conover. That's what I'm trying to say here. And so that's why you need to blast this story out, because I'm telling you right now, the feds ain't gonna come get you because you talked about my case. Because the feds are actively seeing in real time every email I've ever sent to Rachel Stiles, every video that I've sent. Trust me. We all remember when I got federal charges, right?
We do. For that day and a half or 2 days.
Yeah, and I had where I actually was like causing a scene on the front steps. Those prosecutors also know what's happening to me. And so what I'm saying is that's why I'm telling people to feel free to talk about it and not worry about like Laura Conover calling the FBI and getting you in trouble, because Laura Conover can't call the FBI. Because Laura Conover is persona non grata at the Tucson FBI. And the prosecutor in my case, and you want to hear another little, because that's what I'm saying, people need to feel empowered to speak up against Laura Conover, because you're not going to get put on a federal watch list. In fact, you're going to get put on a federal witness list against Laura Conover. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? It's going to be more people building up a reason against Laura Conover, not giving the feds a reason to come after us because we're talking about Laura Conover.
It's another opportunity for the shareholders to be heroes, is what you're saying.
Yes. Because if you look at the story in Phoenix, when the Department of Justice did that announcement about all the civil rights stuff in Phoenix, that was about when a sponsor arrested somebody and put felonies on them for First Amendment activity, right? And so the thing that we got to realize here is that the feds, it's like the alleged victims in this case, witnesses, victims, whatever I'm supposed to call them, technically, legally, like I don't want to get in trouble. Like I'm not trying to play that game. Whatever the legal term I can use is, the paper says alleged victim, so I guess I'll use alleged. It says alleged victim / witnesses. So what I'm saying is the alleged victim / witnesses in this case, they are not able to call the FBI and get help. Because if they call the FBI is going to say, but you lied 33 times under oath. And the judge broke the law and to help you and this kind of stuff. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that's why I go to the FBI first before they go to the FBI. You know what I mean? That's why when that domestic terrorist guy wanted to meet up with me, I said, sure, you want to meet up with me? You can meet me at the FBI office. So for my own safety, because I don't trust these local police based on. You got to remember, let's go back to the beginning. I get arrested at O'Reilly's. I find that cop. I get those charges dismissed, and I get that cop an internal affairs complaint. So now Tucson police hates me so bad that they arrest me coming into the court to stop me from testifying and putting that cop on the Brady list again. Then the booing thing, that's clear targeted retaliation for First Amendment protected activity. They arrested me for booing, right? FBI was like, listen, just wait till the charges get dropped. Just let the court thing, the charges will get dropped, and then we can look into it. Okay? So the thing with Deloria happens, the booing case, all that shit gets dropped. Then I'm able to provide the Tucson police, the FBI, with the internal affairs investigation from the Tucson police, proving that I'm not some crazy guy coming to the FBI. I'm somebody who was right. The cop was breaking the law. Even the Tucson police said Deloria was breaking them. They said policies, it wasn't unconstitutional. That's just covering their ass. But at least they didn't say we investigated ourselves and found nothing, right? Even the Tucson police agreed with me that Deloria fucked up. So that right there builds credibility with the FBI when I say I got this investigation I'm doing on these Tucson cops, and they say, all right, well, what is it? Let's hear about it. Give me everything you got. And I show them, and they say, all right, cool. You already filed the internal affairs complaint. Let the internal affairs complaint play out. And then update us, because if the internal affairs complaint comes back and says that the cop did something wrong, then the FBI has something to work with. And that's what happened. And so what it is they're trying to get me in here where I can't talk to the FBI or people like that, you know what I mean? I can't work on the computer and stuff like that. And I don't make it seem like I'm like thinking the FBI is going to come arrest these people. I'm just saying I'm building a paper trail with them to prove that I'm not a criminal. I'm a First Amendment protected activity journalists, investigative journalists, and investigative journalists need protection. If people report on government officials breaking the law and they go to jail for it, then there is no free press.
No.
And there's nobody that wants to be associated with that, right? You think the new FBI director wants to be known as the guy who said there's no free press? They're literally letting YouTubers come to the White House and do interviews with Trump because they want podcasters and shit to replace CNN as the main media. The White House said that from now on, podcasters and bloggers are allowed to come to the White House press briefings, and only one of ABC, NBC, CNN, and all that shit is allowed per day. So they already know the mainstream media bullshit, narrative shit, right? Nobody wants to post the truth, and that's what I'm saying. Get a hold of Charlie Kirk and them, because there's no conspiracy theory to you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I gotta go get food. I can call back though. I'm gonna be going to court here in a little while, at like 12 or something. But if I have to, I'll just stay on the phone. But like, what'd they say? Okay. All right. So what I'm saying is that like people should not be worried about, you know, talking about my case across the country and worried about like, oh, we're gonna get put on a watch list. No, you're not. You're gonna get put on a hero list because who's in charge of the Department of Justice? You think the Department of Justice is gonna put charges on this as a public service?
I don't think they're going to.
You get what I'm saying? Like, do you think you know what's funny is that, you know how I had those Fed charges here? The attorney, the federal attorney for Arizona was one of the first people Trump fired. The first two federal attorneys Trump fired were Arizona and New Mexico. Because they don't enforce federal law. You get what I'm saying here? They don't enforce immigration and shit. And so what I'm saying is now the whole world needs to know what's happening to me, because the powers that have the power already hate Laura Cano. They already know how crooked she is. And what I was going to say earlier is the prosecutor that I had, remember I got those federal charges? I had the prosecutor, Sarah Houston. Well, her husband, David Houston, used to work under Laura Conover. Well, he worked at the county attorney. People need to know a little backstory about Tucson. From 1976 to 2020, Barbara Wall, a woman named Barbara Wall, was the Tucson prosecutor. For like however many years, what is that, 29 years or something? Law and order, right? By the book. Criminals are criminals. If you're not a criminal, you're not a criminal, right? Laura Conover comes in, you get what I'm saying? Law and order, right? Law, order, we enforce the law. We don't give a fuck who you are. It's either you broke the law or you didn't. Well, Laura Conover comes in and says she's going to bring in social justice, okay? So she comes in with, Laura Conover will tell you right on her own website in a podcast video you can watch on the Facebook, where she says, well, Pima County, we don't do law and order anymore. We do restorative justice. We do a justice where the victim feels better. So in my case, the alleged victims and witnesses, all Laura Conover wants to do is prosecute me until the alleged victims and witnesses tell her they feel better. Okay, so most prosecutors, they look at the law and say, the law says this, we can prosecute this, it's a crime, this. Laura Conover says, oh, we don't care what the law says. We'll just put charges on you and bury you under this bullshit till you succumb to us, and then we agree. Well, I'm telling them right now, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they understand that the last person to try restorative justice with is Lane Myers, because Lane Myers is law and order. The FBI is law and order. And I know that if somebody's a state actor under 1983, so the alleged victim in this case is a state actor under federal law. According to federal law, the alleged victim in this case is a state actor liable under 1983. Hey, give me a second. I gotta go get my food and come back, okay?
All right.
Don't hang up.
All right.
Alright, I'm back. I had to go get my bag lunch of fucking carrots and toast.
So they've gotten your diet under control, and now you're just getting carrots every day?
Right. It's already almost. It's like, alright, fucking. They want me to. It's like Laura Conover, and the reason I said this is what I'm saying about Laura Conover. The feds are suing her for people dying in the jail. The feds aren't allowed to bring in this case to the jail because it doesn't meet the condition. I'm gonna see if I can go get a. Alright, I'm back.
All right.
You there?
I'm here.
You there?
I'm here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like they're making me up. If I was in prison in Russia, the FBI would already get me out. You know what I mean? Like this is the level I'm at. I'm absolutely 100% locked in a Russian prison for no crimes. By any objective, subjective standard of legal, anybody who takes the law and sets it on the table and then looks at what I did would say that I have not committed any crimes. Okay? I'm being held in jail with no bond in the United States of America for no crimes. For criticizing state actors. And what I was saying is okay, the alleged victim or witness in this case, I'm already suing them under Section 1983. That's what the insanity here is. They are, federal law, USC 42, Section 1983, right? Civil liability for section, you know what it is, right? 1983, civil rights violations.
I do.
And you can only file those against state actors, right? You can't file a civil rights lawsuit against Walmart, okay? So my question is, how does somebody qualify as a state actor under USC 42, 1983? But they're allowed, which means that if they retaliate against me, so hear me out, right? If I exercise my First Amendment towards state actors and they retaliate, I can sue them under federal law. Well, so right now, I criticize the state actor. They retaliated against me by putting me in jail with no bond. Not only do I have a giant lawsuit against these alleged victim witnesses, Rachel Stiles, and all the people that put me in this, I'm being unlawfully imprisoned right now. Maliciously prosecuted, unlawfully imprisoned. Right now I'm being held as a political prisoner. Like, I don't have actual charges that I'll ever be convicted of. But I'm being held without bond. I'm doing time in jail for crimes that I'll never be convicted of. Because they're not valid, they're made up crimes. but because Laura Conover can just bring in her buddy who's a judge who used to work for her, and then they can keep me in jail and keep it going. And that's where people need to be able to stand up against this for me, because I can only do so much in here. So we all need to hold hands together and rise up as one and say, listen, if they're doing it to Lane Myers, they're doing it to every United States citizen. Because any United States citizen has the right, or anybody really, you don't even have to be a United States citizen. As long as you're in the United States when it happens, you have these unlimited freedoms of criticizing the government and the government employees. Well, if I criticize the government and the government employees and I end up in jail with no bond, then America is not America, and it's not what they say on paper, right? Be true to what you say on paper, right? I was told, like the Martin Luther King mountaintop thing, I thought we could protest in America. I thought we could stand up against the government lying under oath. Somehow a government employee is allowed to go under oath and lie multiple times and commit perjury. And if I expose that on my news channel, I go to jail, not the fucking government official who committed the perjury 33 times in one hearing.
It's outrageous.
We can argue the semantics. We can argue the semantics of government official, public employee, but we don't need to, Potion, because what does it say on the bottom of the SLAPP law? Pull that up. ARS 12-751. All the way at the bottom. Read that while I'm on the phone so that they can listen to my phone call where you read that. Don't think that they don't know that what they're doing is illegal.
It says...
It's a staring. We're playing a game of chicken right now. They're going, how many charges do we got to put on you till you just submit? And I'm saying, there's no amount of charges on this planet for somebody who hasn't committed a crime, because eventually they'll be exposed for putting the false charges on me. So what does it say?
It says that any civil action claim, cross-claim, or counterclaim for damages other than nominal damages, any criminal prosecution... Number two, state actor means any of the following. A, this state and any county, city, town, or political subdivision of the state. B, any...
Pause. So the alleged victim is an employee of the state. No.
B, any branch, department, board, bureau, commission, council, or committee of an entity included in subdivision A of this paragraph.
Pause. So the state Department of Education, the state of Arizona Department of Education. So far A, state, B, Department of Education, C, go.
Any officer, employee, or other agent of an entity included in subdivision A of...
Pause. State, under A, state, under B, Board of Education, under C, employee, go.
Subdivision A of this paragraph, who is acting in the officer's, employee's, or agent's official capacity.
So let's go over this. Under A, State of Arizona, B, Board of Education, C, employee, acting as the employee of the Board of Education. So all my communications to the alleged victim were between the hours of 9 to 5 related to their employment as a state actor with the Arizona State Board of Education and their employment in their official capacity, right? So I think that you would have to be fundamentally retarded to not understand that the alleged victim is a state actor.
I agree.
So if the alleged victim is a state actor, how can they be a victim of free speech if they're a state actor? How can there be a law? Why is there a federal law that says I can sue the alleged victim for retaliating against my First Amendment rights? Why is there a law, ARS 12751, that says that I can have these charges dropped because they're state actors retaliating against me, exposing their activities as a government employee, right? I think we've all come to the conclusion by now that there's not going to be any testimony from anybody at any point, at any time in this world that says that I actually contacted the alleged victim outside of her official employment capacity with the State of Arizona Board of Education in her official capacity. So if all my contacts were related to the alleged victim's employment as a state actor, and I'm in jail because of those, that's clear retaliation, right? That's clearly why the SLAPP law was designed, because it says, well, if you find a government official, a state actor, so we know that the alleged victim is a state actor. So why are there so many laws that say that you're allowed to criticize state actors and they can't do anything about it? Why am I in jail for criticizing a state actor for something they did in their official? And a bigger question is why wasn't it an injunction against workplace harassment when all the alleged harassment took place at work in their official capacity? I wonder why. Is it because a workplace harassment injunction can't be used to stop constitutionally protected activity right in the law? I bet it is. Do you think that they're charging me with harassment instead of electronic harassment? Because Arizona has a law, 132916, which is electronic harassment, which involves social media posts. But the law for social media posts, because my indictment says that I posted on social media. The law for social media is 132916. The law they charge me with is harassment, 132921, which doesn't apply to social media. Okay. The law for posts on social media is 132916. But 132916, subsection C, says you cannot arrest somebody for social media posts concerning constitutionally protected activity. So I don't think there's any question that my activity is constitutionally protected, First Amendment protected speech, press, stuff like petition, all this kind of stuff. So I don't think there can be any argument that my activities are protected. I don't think there could be any argument that the right law for social media posts that you believe are harassment is 132916, not 132921. However, if they applied the right law, if they charge me with crimes related to social media, the case would get dismissed because you can't charge somebody for social media posts about a state actor. So instead, these crooked ass Tucson cops, that I don't want anybody to forget their names, Detective Brown and Keating. It's just so funny that Detective Keating with the Tucson police and Detective Keating with the University of Arizona police are both involved in this. I'm sure there's no coincidence there that one's named Connor and one's named Colin, and they're both Keating, and they just sounds like brothers to me, don't it? And so the U of A was like, hey, we don't want to get caught dirty because we're a fucking $40 billion Department of Education. So let's have the Tucson cops be the dirty cops. So the real scapegoat in all this is Detective Eric Brown and Sergeant Keating of the Tucson Police, who were the ones who even arrested me for these false charges. Because if they were going to put charges on me, at least put the right charges. If you're going to charge me for 14 social media posts, charge me with the law that applies to social media posts. But they can't apply the law that applies to social media posts to the set of facts. Because the set of facts say that I was exercising my First Amendment protected liberty interest to criticize a state actor and the performance of their official duties, and as a matter of public record, concerning matters of public record like court hearings, where integrity and honesty are important, and impartiality in the judiciary. How can people have confidence in the impartiality of the judiciary when you can go judge shopping and you can find a judge that's willing to put an order against constitutionally protected activity directed at a state actor, which is not, you're not, as a state actor, you're not able to put injunctions on people to stop them from exercising their First Amendment rights against you, which is why that's written right into the injunction laws. So what they did is, in order to hold me in jail, they put the wrong charge on me, because then it makes it look like it's a felony. See, if they would have put the social media harassment on me, it would only be a misdemeanor, and then I could just say, yeah, this doesn't apply to constitutionally protected activity towards state actors, case dismissed. But they put the wrong charge on me and called it a felony, and so So at no point will they ever be able to convict me of it because it's not even the right charge. And the right charge would be a misdemeanor, and if it was a misdemeanor, they couldn't hold me in jail. So this is the stuff we the people need to understand, that Lane Myers is having to fight from inside a jail cell. Is not only is it unlawful, and I've been kidnapped, and I'm being held as a political prisoner against my will, habeas corpus, this whole thing, cruel and unusual. Why am I in jail for constitutionally protected activity? Why am I in jail for videos that Freedom Productions, LLC, and Arizona Media Company posted? Why isn't Freedom Productions in jail? Because it's easier when you control the jail and you control the Tucson police and you control the prosecutor's office to just put me in jail, hope I disappear, hope I quiet down, and hope I get so scared from sitting in jail that I'm willing to take the videos down and make this all go away. And what they don't understand is it's just going to keep getting louder and louder because it's for the whole world can see with their own two eyes that the alleged victim is an employee of the state of Arizona Department of Education. In all my, because the only 3 direct contacts that I'm alleged to have with this victim were 3 voicemails left prior to the granting of the injunction. So if the only contact I've ever had with this alleged victim was 3 voicemails prior to the injunction, that's constitutionally protected activity. But we all know what happened is that the state actor went to a court of law, raised their hand, admitted, whatever the word is, said they agreed to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the punishment of perjury. And they just went in there and just started lying out their ass under oath. And their reward as a government employee, I don't care what people need to stop going on. It's public official is somebody that's elected, public employee, government employee, whatever you want to look at it. The alleged victim isn't it? It says right there under the SLAPP law that she's a state actor, right? State actors, that's literally the definition of USC 42, 1983, acting under the color of state. So an employee of the Arizona Department of Education is a state actor liable under Section 1983. So, we'll get through this, and then I'm going to put a giant lawsuit on them under federal law because this is clearly retaliation for me exposing a government employee lying in court, which is a government function. This isn't like I got a wiretap of her at a Christmas party. You know what I mean? This is literally anybody on this planet can order the hearing and play it and listen. But for some reason, I just happen to be the messenger. So the messenger is in jail, but the message is not being, you know what I mean? So normally, you judge the message, not the messenger, right? Like Snowden and all this, like people, how could a reporter have confidential sources? How could the free press, how could there even be a free press if you report a story about a government official and they can just call their buddies at the prosecutor's office and have you put in jail with no bond, so you can stop writing stories exposing their unlawful actions in their official capacity as an employee of the state of Arizona Department of Education. And for some reason, I'm going to have a hearing today where they're going to say they want to keep me in bond because I made a silent video showing state of Arizona Department of Education employees information in a public domain when it's literally required by law. You know why the alleged victim hasn't just taken their name and because you would have thought, right? If the alleged victim's contact information as an employee in her official capacity as the employee of the state of Arizona Department of Education, you would think that if you would think that activity would be protected, right? Okay, well, in her official capacity, she's able to be criticized. Yet, if you do, you can go to jail because she's friends with the prosecutor. Well, let's just have a simple solution. I only have 2 minutes and it'll hang up, but I can call back, okay?
All right.
question is what was I just saying? This is really important.
What were you saying? Because it was really important.
That they can just put charges on them, okay? Because they're friends with the prosecutor and all that. Well, then how? I lost my train of thought. Okay, but I was saying that under 1983 and shit, right? Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is I know what it was. If the information that I'm showing, so I'm about to go to court today and get held in jail with no bond and get arraigned on new charges for making a silent video showing the state of Arizona, Department of Education, University of Arizona website. So you would think if me showing this information or people having this information was such a problem, they would just remove it from the website, right? But why can't they remove it from the website? Because it's required to be on the website by law because they're employees of the fucking state of Arizona. Okay, they're literally, if this was somebody at Walmart, they would just took the alleged victim's information off the website. Not only has this person not taken their information off the website, they've added more information to the website since this whole thing started, including family pictures. So this state actor is so concerned for their privacy that they continue to upload their contact information on multiple pages of the state of Arizona, Department of Education, University of Arizona website. So it's such a problem for the public to have this information that they haven't even taken it off the website because by law they can't take it off the website because by law she's a state actor under 1983 under SLAPP. So the simple solution would be if you didn't want people to have it, just remove it, right? But they can't remove it because it's a law to keep it up because by law we're allowed to contact her and redress her. You get what I'm saying here? So they...
I think he'll call right back, guys.
And the FBI and local school districts, local school boards, nothing like it in our country's history. It was based, you've testified, on this letter from the National School Board Association that we now know the White House was involved in writing. They've retracted the letter. They've apologized for the letter. They say they regret the letter, but you won't retract the memo and said earlier that you have no regrets. And you've defended yourself repeatedly today before this committee by saying, well, you're focused on violence. But now, of course, we've seen the memo from your own Justice Department advising state and local and other prosecutors about all of the different federal causes of action that they can bring against parents that are not about violence, they're about harassment and intimidation. I'm looking here at this memo. It identifies no fewer than 13 possible federal crimes involving harassment and intimidation, including making annoying phone calls. Do you think a parent who makes a phone call to a school board member that she has elected, that school board member deems annoying, should be prosecuted, General Garland?
No, I don't. And the Supreme Court has made quite clear that the word intimidation with respect to the constitutional protection is one that directs a threat to a person with the intent of placing the victim in fear of bodily harm or death. Prosecutors who investigate these cases know the Supreme Court's. This is a very famous leading case.
Prosecutors do, but parents don't, General Garland. Do you think that a parent who looks at the 13 different federal crimes that your Justice Department has identified they might be subject to and prosecuted for, like making annoying phone calls, do you think that they're going to feel that?
I actually went through that whole discovery yesterday looking for it because I couldn't find it, Sassy, only to find out that there were 2 releases and 2 separate discoveries. So yeah.
Zero. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from this facility, press 9. For a rate, Your current balance is $2.35. This call is subject to being recorded or monitored, except for communication between attorney and client. If you are an attorney or designated counsel, hang up and call the Pima County Jail at 520-351-8027. Three-way calls or call waiting is not allowed and may automatically disconnect this call. Did you know the person calling you now has voicemail? You can leave a message for this party by calling 520-448-3426. You will need to know the inmate's 9-digit phone ID. Thank you for using GTL.
What up?
What up? Yeah, so wouldn't that be a simple solution?
You would think so. Somebody actually just messaged me saying that it was gone, but I just Googled it, and it's still there. So.
Don't put that on the video.
Oh no, I'm not. I just wanted to make sure
We're
that.
not allowed to. That it is or isn't.
Yeah.
You're just trying to verify, right?
Yeah, I was just verifying.
It's not worth it. Yeah, because I'm in here because so the thing is that anybody else could make the same video I did, that silent video. In fact, anybody could take that silent video and post it on their website. They won't be in jail with no bond. You hear what I mean here?
I do, because I've been telling people to do just that, and doing it myself, because I don't understand this. You know what I mean?
Anybody to do that. I'm not saying people need to do that. I'm not encouraging people to do that. I'm using it as an example, right? Because I'm here to stand on business. Because for 300 fucking years, people have stood on business, right?
That's right.
And so, if it's as simple as nobody's supposed to have the information, then why is it publicly available? If it's simple as if you display the information, it's a crime, will everybody else be charged for the same crime of making a silent video? And I don't even mean share the video I made. I don't mean that. I mean that, like, and not even using the same people. But take your local government, for example, or something. Anybody could sit there and go on themselves looking at public information on Google, right, and post it on their YouTube channel, and they would not have to worry about getting 17 charges and being held in jail with no bond for months and months and months, because they displayed information available publicly on the website. In fact, you know what? This is something I do want you to do, because I know I'm going to have to deal with this with the judge, because so many people have been emailing the judge. Make sure that email's not up anywhere, okay? And let me tell you this. But the phone number you can put up, right? Because go on Google right now and pull up. I mean, Lane Myers' message to the world is, don't call the judge during business hours. And I love you, Dick Tracy, and we will meet again. Dick Tracy was on vacation. Dick Tracy just so happened to be handling some out of work stuff when the days this all goes down, right?
I talked to Dick.
All right. Tell him I love him, okay? And so, brotherly love, you know. What did he say? He had nothing to do with it? Exactly. He didn't. He wasn't even there.
He said he was on vacation, that he doesn't know what's going on there.
No, I know. And I even behaved like a good little boy for him when I was there. Didn't fight the judge on 122. But anyways, Dick Tracy has nothing to do with this other than he's a court security. But back to the point I was making is that the reason I brought up Dick Tracy is because, you know how when I asked the judge during court, is anybody going to be charged for the emails they sent you?
Yes.
I was doing that for a reason, right? Put that on YouTube where the judge said, he says, but guess who the judge reports those emails to?
Dick?
Exactly. Head of court security. So if the judge gets an email that he's worried about, he reports it to Dick Tracy. So every email that's ever been sent to that court on my behalf, Dick Tracy has read the email. How many people have been charged? None. See what I'm saying here? So the judge, that's what I'm saying. Don't put the judge's secretary's email up, but the website Superior Court shows the judge's phone number, right? Because I like Dick Tracy and I don't want to fucking piss the judge off. I'm asking people, and I'm encouraging them to call and leave. Do not send the emails. Stop the emails to the secretary. She's overwhelmed, okay? They know that people care about me and what's happening to me, and they know, okay? But if you want to participate, right? Because remember, SLAPP is strategic against public participation. So they're doing this to stop the public from participating in my cases and my stuff, right? Well, if the public wants to participate in a manner that works best for all sides, don't email the judge's secretary because she's got other cases. Newsflash, my case is not the only case the judge has, right? Dick Tracy doesn't need to read 1,000 emails saying that Lane's innocent because Dick Tracy already knows him innocent. The secretary doesn't need to stop what she's doing on something else to read. But, I mean, it matters, right? Don't get me wrong. But if the judge's secretary has to go in there and can't get no other work done because she's reading all the emails saying Lane should not be in jail, then we're really getting into the gray area of cost benefit, right? And what I'm saying is something that I know you can do that is call after 5 and leave a voicemail on the judge's voicemail, because that is something that the lady doesn't have to answer the phone during business hours, and she doesn't have to deal with your email during business hours, right? And it's over, right? And they start their day and go on. Now, the judge can only do so much, right? But the judge needs to know that the public is participating.
I think that, we'll make that point more clear.
I gotta go.
All right, man.
I gotta go, because I gotta go to court.
All right, see you at court.
All right, I'll call later.
All right, man, let him.
Put some money on that texting shit.
I'll do it
Love
now.
you all. Love you, Cat. All right, bye.
Later.
Thank you for using GTL.
I don't know if it hung up or not. All right, you heard the man. All right, I'm gonna sign off. I got a lot of things to do before this hearing. So, yeah. Thank you, Raya Hoot. I appreciate that. To the best of my knowledge, we'll be live for the court hearing. So, hopefully we'll have some people in the actual courtroom to guarantee coverage. But that's what I know now. You know, he seems to think he's not going to get bond, right? That bond's not going to happen. And, you know, we've got the story behind here. I'll read this since I didn't read this earlier. This is go over to Reluctant Prophets page. When I say they're all connected, I don't think folks grasp just how incestuous the Tucson legal system really is. The judge deciding whether Lane walks free or rots in a cage today. Just last year, she was working for Laura Conover. Huh. Jeez. Yep, the same Conover whose office is prosecuting Lane right now. They even spotlighted Tracy Miller on their website for landing back-to-back convictions, like she's some kind of Pima County judicial MVP. And guess who she's working with? Rachel Stiles, the very prosecutor in this case, laughing as Lane is being led out of the courtroom in the last hearing. And guess where she went to law school? I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to go with the University of Arizona. But sure, keep believing in that fairy tale version of justice, the one where judges are neutral, prosecutors play fair, and the system isn't rigged by design. That's the person, guys, that's going to be impartial and fair later today. She's not going to bring any of her prosecutorial biases in. She's not going to think about her friends at the prosecutor's office. She's going to look at the facts, right? She's going to look at the facts and decide that what, a man should stay in a cage? I'm just real hazy on the crime. You know what I mean? Like, where's the crime? Because these crimes that they allege, they're not... They just don't fit. So, alright, I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Make some phone calls, send some emails. Not to what's-her-face, but to, thank you, Gregory, but to Laura Conover, to Rachel Stiles, to the Attorney General, to the news media, to Charlie Kirk. I'm going to reach out to Charlie Kirk. It'd be nice if 500 people reached out to Charlie Kirk. If the anti-SLAPP isn't in this description, I'll put it in this description. Make it easy for you guys to share some of the documents that are going on in this. What the fuck is this shit? Why is the camera so junk? Sus TV, you're late to the story, and Lane's in jail. He's sitting in the Pima County Jail. He's got court. It's at 2:30 Arizona time. Sorry, 2:30 Arizona time. It's not in 13 minutes. Yes, court is today. We will be streaming the hearing. All right, I'm going to sign off. Interesting, Bad Apple. Over, he shared a photo of a cop off Facebook. Was the Facebook, was it a private Facebook? You know what I mean by private? Or was it, was it... Alright, I gotta go. Sorry. Send me that. I didn't see the email, Bad Apple. You mentioned you were going to send the filing. I realized we're all busy. I probably wouldn't have been able to read it this weekend anyway, but I wanted to let you know that I have been looking out for it and that I did not see it. Yeah, I mean, it's public domain. If you want your Facebook, if you don't want people to look at your Facebook pictures, then make your Facebook private. That's interesting. He did the same thing Lane did. No, open to the public. Poke the cops. Really? Interesting. It's a court of appeal. So he went through the appeal. Is he appealing? Is that being appealed? Is he appealing that appeal, man? All right, I gotta go take care of adding some money to this and getting ready for a little later. So make some phone calls, send some emails. I'll update the description. Really appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.